Yay!
And everything is hunky-dory?
Solutions.
Let's fix that.
Uh,
Okay.
uh.
So,
Alright.
I'd like to welcome
yeah.
everyone to the inaugural Session 0 episode of Roll Call, a new D&D Twitch live stream that pits a group of voice actors and some friends against me.
Against you.
I guess that's it.
Yeah, that's all we need.
So, a little introduction to the world that we'll be playing in. It is a homebrew world, a collaborative homebrew setting that the group of us have kind of worked on setting up. What are we rolling for?
I was just testing to make sure I knew how to do it. We're good.
Okay. The world is called Lumera, and Lumera, in its history, suffered a great loss of the creator god Aenir at the hands of his wife Daedra. After about a 800-year span of war, total all-out war between the humans, shards of Aenir's divinity were discovered by mortals who were able to wield them, but at great cost to their bodies. These champions of divinity became known as scions, and in their infinite wisdom, they used this power to create beings of immense strength, the dragons. The dragons brought order to Lumera for a time, but the scions lost control of them. And they found that it was better to do away with the dragons than to allow them to wreak havoc on the world of Lumera. Fast forward a considerable amount of time into the future, and the scions are still around. They have changed, the power of the scions has changed hands over time, and we find ourselves in a period of relative peace, at least in our little corner of the world, a continent known as Verdun. And I will turn the table over to our players and allow them to describe who they're playing and who they are and all that. We'll start with Nova.
Okay. Hello, my name is Nola. I'm usually, my tag is usually Novalite. And I am playing a human cleric named Estelle. And she is a noble who has run away from home to escape a marriage. It's very typical, but you know, I hope to grow her into a cool and interesting character for you guys. So.
All right, let's move on to Kai.
All right. Hi, my name is Kai. My tag is often Flimsy Ranger. I am a monster slayer folk hero, and I am a one-armed monster hunter. And Isaac, and my character's name is Isaac Korhan. And he lives on the road and goes wherever the work is, and really just enjoys travel. Also, he's missing an arm.
I think you said that.
Gotta drill that in. Make sure they don't forget.
Did I say that already? Oh.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, stream jitters, but that's okay.
Let's move on to Jesse.
Hello, I'm Jessie. My tag is normally Exit, and that goes back to the days of when I played League of Legends. And I'm going to be playing a gnome bard named Brina. She plays the harmonica, and it's kind of more almost like a Robin Hood kind of thing. Wants to bring the riches and stuff that she finds back to her home people. Hopefully one day rescue them.
I'm also a human. I don't know if I said that.
That is important.
Would be nice to know.
All right, and that will bring us to our final player. Do you want to go by Gastro or do you want to go by Chad?
Chad's fine.
Okay.
Am I real quick, audio wise, am I doubling up right now or no? We're good? Okay, good. All right.
I think we're
so-
good.
I hear you.
They'll let us know in Twitch chat if you're.
Perfect. So yeah, my name is Chad, and today I'm going to be playing a rogue tiefling. I know it's kind of the go-to, but I really like this character, and I think he's going to be very interesting. He is a tiefling known as Wit. He is kind of a smuggler and scrounger, and just trying to get ahead in life, considering his fall from grace. So I'm really excited to see where this character goes, and I'm looking forward to this campaign, guys. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yay! All right. So let's start with Brina and Wit.
Well, hello.
The two of you have been traveling for a couple of weeks now. You have been contracted by a mysterious figure who did not give you a name. And tasked with a smuggling contract, crossing borders from the country of Rimmel, the kingdom of Rimmel, back over the border into Zaldan. You find yourselves in the Eastern March, in the port town of Freeport. And you enter a tavern called the Screaming Banshee. You find yourself surrounded by all manner of sailor type. The seas are dangerous, but these folks in general find the seas to be an adventure in its own. The barkeep kind of sees you enter, and you don't look like you belong. So he kind of calls you over. It's a human man, kind of balding, with just a little wisps of hair on the side. Looks like he's missing a considerable amount of teeth. And he says, "Well, what are you doing here? You don't look like you belong."
I think that Wit would have, if he's walking around in this place, he would definitely be trying to do anything to cover up his natural tiefling features for the fair bit of it. Probably if he's got a collar or a hood, he's hefting it over his head. And he just kind of looks to Brina. Well, what should we tell him? I'm not exactly sure. What's the story this time?
Well, I don't know if we can tell him what we're actually doing. I guess we're here for a drink.
Sounds good.
It's believable.
Well, pick your poison.
You actually have poison here? Oh, that's impressive.
Well, I mean, it might be poison for someone with a weaker constitution.
All right. Well, let's see.
I'd like a pint. For a pint-sized person.
A pint-sized pint it is.
Mm-hmm.
As decisive as you are, Wit's sort of sitting there, looking over their top shelf booze.
He kind of gives you a side eye. He says, "You know, I think I've got the proper thing for you too."
Do you now? You seem to cast judgment on people when they walk into your bar? Is that what happens? All right, fine. Go ahead. Lay down anything on this table. I'll drink it. Promise.
Very
I elbow
well.
him and tell him I don't think he should say that.
No. Trust me,
It's
lass.
fine.
It'll be fine. So he kind of turns around and goes about pouring your drinks. He grabs a rather large flagon from underneath the counter and fills it up to the top with sudsy ale that he sets down in front of Brina. The flagon is about as big as your head.
Well, I don't think it's supposed to be sudsy, but I want to be polite. So I will try it.
Sure. It's a bitter brew. It's very hoppy, probably in the vein of an India Pale Ale. But yeah, it's bitter and a little bit briny, like maybe it was brewed with ocean water.
Yum.
Yeah,
there.
it's
Love a good ocean.
it's different for sure. But you're pretty sure it'll get you drunk. For Wit, he reaches up above the counter and he pulls down a dusty bottle that is made of black obsidian glass and pulls a cork out of it and sets down a shot glass and tilts the bottle, and it takes a little bit for the liquid to eventually leave the bottle and settle in a thick syrup at the bottom of the glass. It is black in color, as black, if not blacker, than the obsidian glass that it's contained in. And he says, well, there you go. We call this here shoom.
And what is shoom?
Yeah, what she said. What?
Well,
Is-
shoom is the sound that you'll make as you rush off to the bathroom. You did say set down anything in front of you and you'll drink it.
You made a commitment. You have to do that.
He like sniffs it.
It smells fishy. It smells like
Oh, gosh.
like fermented fish and some kind of grain. Like maybe they added fish to the fermentation process at some point when they made it.
You're making it so appetizing, just so wonderful. Wit,
You did say set down anything.
Wit looks at it.
You're a tiefling. You can handle it.
Yeah, I understand. But just because I have demon blood doesn't mean that I'm gonna be able to. Iron stomach. You got this. Do it. Just.
Okay. Go ahead and make me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, good.
First roll of the campaign, guys.
Oh, hey.
Constitution saving throw.
Yeah. Set the
And
pace.
it's
Set the
shitty
pace.
roll.
And it's
Set the-
horrible.
Yeah.
Set the pace for the game. All right. So you take the glass and you try to shoot it back as fast as you can, but this stuff is thick, and it takes a while getting from the bottom of the glass to your mouth, and it slides down your throat almost like a loogie. And as soon as it hits the back of your throat, your gag reflex kicks in, and you find yourself rushing out the door to pitch your lunch over the side into the ocean. Basically. Yeah, it's a molasses oyster shooter. And the barkeep kind of slaps his knee and I haven't seen someone run that fast in a long time. Now, girlie, what are you really here for?
We're here to meet somebody. They told us to come here. This is not our normal location. You were correct. But yeah, we're here because someone asked us to be.
So you're expecting to meet someone?
I hope so at this point.
You're not up to any shady business, are you?
Oh, never. We would never do anything shady.
Never, though.
Well, you're in the wrong place then, lass. There's some shady people here.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't know anything about that.
Kind of taps his nose, like he's picking up what you're putting down, and he kind of steps away. Eventually, Wit, you make your way back into the bar after emptying your guts, and you meet Brina back at the bar at the countertop, and go ahead and both of you make a perception check.
All right.
Okay, a 15 for Brina.
Oh wait, hold on. I have advantage on.
That's okay. We'll just take the first number. It's all right. You're good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you don't have to re-roll.
Oh, good. Totally go with the first number.
Yeah, for sure. So let's see, a 15 and a 3. Yeah. Excuse me. Wit, you are still kind of you're like sweating and breathing heavy, like trying to recover from this terrible shot of shoom. And Brina, you're kind of looking around expectantly, like looking for someone who you're supposed to meet. And you see a gentleman that is sitting in the corner that looks very out of place. More out of place than the two of you. He is draped in purple and gold robes. And he has what looks like a thick tome that is chained to a belt that he's wearing that kind of hangs loosely to the side. And he is just looking around nervously.
I look at the barkeep and thank you so much. These drinks were lovely, but I think I see my friend over there. And then I nudge you, and then we turn and head over to our new buddy in the corner. Or I do. I don't know what you're gonna do.
I think as you nudge me, I probably heave one last time.
Lip? Yeah.
What? Oh yeah, we should probably go meet them. Okay. How do I look? And he pops a collar, like presentable. Like, okay, let's go do this.
All right, so you guys make your way across the bar, and you approach this figure who is looking skittish, and he sees you guys approaching, and he grabs for this tome and like pulls it close, and gets up and like starts to run away.
Wait, sir, I think you were the person that we were trying to meet here.
What? I don't know what you're talking about. He kind of looks you guys over, and he sees through Wit's kind of coverings and realizes the hue of his skin and the very lumpy protrusions that are probably horns underneath his hood. He says, "Well, I suppose you are the person that I'm looking for."
I don't get that every day, but that's a start. Just calm down, sit down, we'll talk, okay? It's to be very simple. Right? Don't make a scene. The more we make a scene, the more problems we have.
He nods excitedly and goes and sits back at the table that he was sitting at. Well, I suppose our mutual friend sent you.
You could say that, yeah. I have business here. You have business here. Let's just get down to business, shall we? What do you got for me?
I've got me. I'm your query. I don't know the
liaison.
Sure, yeah.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously, you're not. No.
Yes. I'm
No.
We don't mean to be offensive. It's just I don't understand.
I'm not trying to be, but look at him. Does he look?
No, I don't.
This
The point.
Look. You're smugglers, right? And he's saying this like very loud.
Just. I am a procurer, a curator. Give me a proper title, sir. I would appreciate it if you didn't just call me a smuggler. Come on, now, just relax.
My apologies. I'm sorry. I'm new at this. I'm new.
Okay.
Okay. I'm new at this. Okay.
Pick this guy
Just
up.
forgive me. I look. I have on my person some very sensitive things that are very important to me.
And I respect that. I respect that very much. I want to make sure that whatever those personal things are, they get to the proper people. You and I both know that. All right? So, how can I help you?
I think you're misunderstanding. You're going to be tasked with escorting me. I'm the item that you're smuggling.
I whisper.
Or procuring, I should say.
I don't know how we're ever gonna keep this guy alive. He's like tiny and he's got nothing going on for him. There's no loud enough for him to hear it.
Hey, you know what? I was gonna make a comment, but I'm not now because I'm afraid that I would ruin our business relationship if I said it. Saying that to Brina, so I'm gonna avoid that. I have to take you now, sir. Let me explain. Wit. I do not work, or not my gig. I thought I was getting an item.
It added so much more suspense.
I know, right?
Yeah, we thought we lost audio for a second.
Oh, for real? That's cool.
Yeah,
we were all like,
I
I was like, what's gonna happen? Okay. Carry on.
Well, all I can tell you is there is a handsome reward in it for you. That is certain.
Is this a money reward or is it going to be like another person?
Oh no, there's a considerable amount of money. Yes, of course. And he reaches into his satchel and pulls out a large sack of coins and sets it on the table. And he kind of reaches and grabs it and puts it back and says, "Probably not the place to keep it. Not the place to show off. You know, I'm catching on."
You know how like a traditional human would like, in a moment like that, they would swipe their brow, right? He's like, he goes underneath the hood and like swipes his horns, like slicking his hair back. Oh, so close. so close. Please don't do that. Very sensitive. Look, I will help you. All right. I like you. You're kind of weird, and I've never had to deal with transporting. I'm sorry. Brina, I am all over the place today. What is wrong with me?
I don't know if I like him, but if we have to, I mean, I'll trust you.
Okay, look.
I don't know how to feel about him.
What's your name? Let's start with a name. I at least want to know who I'm carrying.
Cornelius. Cornelius Hedge.
Oh, he's got a terrible name.
Cornhedge. Okay, that's great. You're Cornhedge. That's fantastic. I'm gonna call you that.
No, my name is Cornelius.
Cornhedge is much easier to remember.
It's easier to remember. Plus, it makes me feel like I'm carrying something, a physical item. All right, I can tell people.
What exactly is a corn hedge? I
put
believe that
you
corn
in
grows
a
on
box,
stalks.
Okay, if I put you in a box, I can tell them I'm carrying a corn hedge. They don't need to know what that is.
What? Why would you put me in a box?
Sometimes you need to learn the very subtle art of smuggling, my friend. Before you come to meet a smuggler, I think you should look that up.
The art of procuring, rather.
It's the art of procuring. I'm sorry. You're right. That was the
Yes,
wrong
I
term.
do believe that it is procuring.
So, I will help procure you with my associate Brina here. She's very good. She'll take much better care of you than I probably will. I'll be honest.
true.
If it were in my hands, you would probably be a dead man.
I have to say, so far, I do like her better.
Yeah, that's usually why I have her.
And
as
she
the
called
first.
me small. But she's not wrong.
Being small is not bad.
No, it just means we can fit you in more places.
Well, very well. I suppose we should get to it then. I'm going to need to be in the city of Ren within a fortnight. Is that possible?
Let's see. Let's do the math here. And he's like kind of taking one of his fingers with his sharp fingernails and like etching into the. Let's see. Fortnight.
Like into the table?
Into the table, just like little etchings. All right, fine. I can make it. I think, roughly, give or take. You might lose a limb in the process. I don't know. The point is, do you trust me enough to make sure that I can get you there?
Not so far as I can throw you, which wouldn't be very far. Uh-oh.
All right.
We lost video feed from everybody.
Oh no! When did that happen?
No!
It was going so well. I was so entranced.
I don't know. I have the
It's the Roll20 Adventures. All of our technical abilities.
I can see it though on my
I can also see.
device.
I can see the people that I've normally been able to see.
Okay, do we all want to refresh?
No, let's not risk that. I'm just gonna. I will refresh.
Here, the
thought
DM
of
will
that.
refresh.
Makes
This
me
is
shiver.
why we have a test. Everyone was there, by the way, on the Twitch piece.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was just me. For some reason, they all went
well,
black for me.
You're back now, so.
Now it's all black.
Yep.
You're there, but no one else is.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Oh, mine's not loading. What the heck?
I don't know.
Oh.
Do we all need to refresh?
No.
Okay.
No, wait, no. Let's see. Portraits.
You might have to refresh my.
Wait. I see a black screen for Nova.
Let's just check them.
On Twitch, we're all portraits. I look like a QR code. Okay, cool. We're back.
All right, that's it.
No.
Except for
Nova's
Nola.
still
Estelle.
What?
Come back.
But I don't know how.
I don't know, fix it. I don't know, dead air. All right, let's move on.
Jump back.
We have viewers, by the way. Hi, viewers. Hi, friends. Yeah, there's
What's up?
5 people
Oh,
viewing.
one viewer.
I don't know how many of them are us, but
I mean,
there's 5. There's at least 5.
And
you
there's,
guys can help us.
so that means that there is at least one person. So, sup?
Hello, random person.
Hello,
Okay,
one
what is
person.
gonna happen? Are we taking the dude, or is he agreed?
Yes, we'll just continue while Nola works on her video.
Oh, this is my
Stuff.
fault. Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
it's your fault. You're the one that's not here.
Yes, we're voting you off the island now.
No.
So
Out
yeah.
of the tower.
He says, I don't know how I feel about losing any limbs, but I guess you're my only option at this point.
That's what I like to hear. We're the only option.
We're the only option. That should be on our cards. Like, can we make that?
We'll
let's
work
put
on
a note. Let's put a pin in there. Your only option, Wit and Brina. There you go. Oh, I like it.
TM
Definitely breeds confidence for sure.
So much confidence.
Certainly.
You're welcome.
Well, if you follow me, I have a carriage for us and everything, so we should be fine with
Is it pulled by animals?
It is.
I've always wanted to ride in a carriage pulled by animals.
Me
This
too.
is a good day. This is a good day.
You've ridden in carriages pulled by something other than animals?
I mean, by slaves.
Oh.
It wasn't very fast. They didn't like it.
I mean,
Way to just come out and say it.
they're not. They're not horses. So there's
But where
that.
I come from, we were the slaves, so it wasn't great.
All right. Sure. Yeah, let's get out of here. And he kind of scurries to the front door.
I feel like Wit will probably be just gently meandering you out the door, but also like really excited because he hasn't seen like a carriage in a long time, and he's like, "Oh, hey, we're getting in a fancy carriage. I'm really excited." I didn't know this dude.
So he leads you guys outside, and as you guys are walking away, the barkeep says, "You know you do have a tab open."
I think our friend is coming later to pay that, actually. Bye.
Roll persuasion.
Okay. Sorry, I just don't think I would pay that if I didn't have to. $17?
Yeah, he says, well, I suppose that'll be okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he'll be here shortly. We just have to run.
All right. Have a
Yes.
good day then.
Oh, we will. You too. Then I run to go pet whatever creature, animal thing is pulling this carriage.
All right, so you guys round the corner into an alleyway, and you watch as Cornelius, he reaches into his satchel and he pulls out what looks like a small toy carriage with 2 horse figurines attached to it, and he sets it down on the ground, and he kind kind of tilts his head to the side a little bit, like cracking his neck and stretching. Animals! And you watch as a slight bit of arcane energy kind of leaves his fingertips, and the carriage grows to the size that it would need to be to hold living human beings or other creatures of that size, and the horses animate and grow in size as well. So you have a full-size horse-drawn carriage that is just kind of animated in front of you.
Well, my eyes are huge and jaws dropped. Too excited.
Did I say you were going to be a liability?
You did, yes, yes.
You know what, Cornelius, was it? I think we're going to have a better relationship than you think. I think maybe we should talk, because look, it was this big.
Yes, that it was, yes.
I'm really liking corn fudge.
I like corn. I like Cornhedge. Cornhedge is very nice. We should hang out with him all the time.
He kind of walks over and taps on the back of the carriage, and you see now that it's larger. When it was small, it had like a tiny it had a tiny like blue marble on the back of the carriage. But now that it's grown in size, you can see that it's a rather large crystalline object on the back of the carriage, and it's kind of sparking with arcane energy every once in a while. It's a blue gem that kind of emits yellow arcs of lightning every once in a while. That's the glory of the Arcanoclasts. They allow you to do some pretty impressive magic.
Yeah, they do.
Well, this is just awesome. And I run and try to jump into the carriage.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, you open the door to the carriage, and inside you discover not only a pretty lavishly upholstered interior, but you also discover a tray with what looks like cold beverages. That's waiting for you.
Well, I think this is a party carriage.
I am gonna need one of you to pilot the carriage.
Oh, you don't have a driver? Jeez. All right. I guess I'll do it. It's fine. And I think he would attempt to jump in and hop on the front of the carriage.
Okay. Yeah, you managed to hop in the front. The horses, both of them are pretty sturdy looking steeds. They're one is brown in color. The other one is kind of a painted horse with white with brown spots. And yeah, they seem to go ahead and roll an animal handling check just to see how they take to you. All right.
Well,
Yeah, you hop in the driver's seat of the carriage, and the horses kind of momentarily pull it, tug at the reins, but you manage to get control of them pretty easily. And yeah, you guys set off toward the border between Zaldin and Ramel.
Yeah, I think the whole time we're riding, Wit can't help but kind of have small talk with Cornelius. So, Corn Dog, quick question. So what brings you out here? What makes you want to get involved with us smugglers, as it is?
I thought you said you were procurers?
You say smugglers, I say procurers. Tit for tat, whatever. Just, the question is, what makes you come out this way? What are we working on? Where do you need to get, and why do you need to go to Ramel?
Well,
You
I need to get to Zaldin. In particular, the city of Ren. I have an item that's there that is waiting for me, and well, as you can see, I could be painted as a bit of a target for ne'er-do-wells and the like.
You pose zero to little threat, it seems. Not gonna lie, you're about the equivalent of a ladybug. No offense.
None taken. I realize that I'm not much to look at, but I have a lot of money. Which is also unfortunate.
We like money. We do like money.
We love it. We really do.
But yeah, I just need to get to Zaldin in order to procure this item. And I just need some guards, that's all.
So glad to help you with that. Very glad to help you with that. I don't think I've ever had to be a guard before, but now that you think about it, I'm going to add that to I'm going to add that to the resume. I think it'll be nice.
So guard and only option. This is
guard and only option. There we go. This is getting better every day. I like it.
The only option for your guarding needs.
Your only option for your guarding needs.
You could help us write this.
You know what? Maybe we should just hire you as our personal publicist. I think that would be nice.
That's what we could say he is. He's our publicist.
Yeah.
No one will have to know.
Yeah, there'll be publications in the papers. It'd be great.
I don't know how much I would enjoy that. I'm more of a I guess you could say I'm a procurer myself. I'm an archaeologist.
But wouldn't you want to follow us around and write down all the amazing things we say?
Yeah, because I mean, I'm pretty sure.
People want to know.
We're pretty impressive.
I'm sure you could find someone to do that.
We did.
I thought it was going to be you, but now you've disappointed me. It's fine. We'll get to. Hey, look. We'll get to what? Ren.
Yes, Ren. It's the capital city of Zaldin.
Ren. Yeah, and then we'll negotiate from there. How about that? Okay. There's always a room for negotiations.
Sure.
And we'll probably grow on you.
Sure.
Yeah. You'll want to stay. You want to snuggle. It's fine.
Mm-hmm. Sure. We can do that.
That was an easy sell.
So you guys travel for the better part of a day, just getting to the border between the northern march in Ramel and the wild region of Zaldin. And as you're getting to the checkpoint to cross between the border, you see a gentleman wearing a very shiny suit of plate armor that is it's not emblazoned. It's forged, like the chest plate is forged to look like the head of a lion. And he says, Halt! Stop your carriage.
Would Oh, all right. Okay, come on. Hello there, sir. Hi, how are you?
Fine. How are you?
Wonderful. And he'll like I think at this point, so that he doesn't have to be as noticed as for as long as he can, he'll tap the side of the door to the carriage like Cornelius, friend, buddy, I think they're gonna need to talk to you.
What? Isn't that what I'm paying you for?
Oh, I didn't know that was part of the deal. Okay, yeah, fine. Hi. So we would like passage, please. If what do I need to do that, sir?
You want passage into the wild region of Zaldan?
Yes, I would like to go to Zaldan.
Well, I'm obliged to inform you that there's a bad case of the blight across the border.
Horrible case of the blight.
Yes, that's why we're here. We're here to maintain order and protect the borders of Ramel from the encroaching blight.
One second. Let me confirm. You didn't tell me that there was going to be a problem with the passing through. I didn't know we were going to run into a roadblock here.
It's not a roadblock. He's just letting you know that there's a case of the blight across the border.
Oh,
that's
okay.
that's why I need part of why I need protection. Obviously, I can't.
I was just afraid that we wouldn't be able to go through. That's fine. I just wanted to check. Okay? All right. Sir, thank you very much. I appreciate your very kind words. I will definitely watch out for all of that blight and all of the nastiness that is definitely in those wilds. You have my word. I will protect myself. I will cover up whatever I need to cover up to make sure that the blight doesn't affect me or my companions.
All right. Well, then, move along.
He like whispers to Brina. That was easier than I thought it was gonna be honest.
Oh yeah, I mean, how could they not let us through? We're in a magical carriage.
I know. Oh, it's pretty amazing. And he just kind of like hefts up on the reins. Again, that sort of swipe of slick back hair. Okay then. And like heads off into the wilds.
As you pull the carriage forward and get the horses across the border, but not the carriage, you hear a voice from behind you again. Hold that carriage. And you feel the looming presence of several guards surrounding the carriage this time. The same guard at the gate kind of approaches your side of the carriage and he says, couldn't help but notice you got some pretty valuable cargo on that carriage.
Valuable cargo? I don't know.
Yeah, the big blooming gem on the back of it.
Oh, that. Oh, yes. Yes.
You could probably have that.
No, he can't have that. That's what's allowing the carriage to remain the size.
I
thought you were the cargo.
Sir, yes, while there is that glowing thing, as you put it, on the back of my carriage. I'm going to regret to inform you we're going to probably need that.
Well, if you can't give that up, then perhaps you could spare some coin. Got a family at home. Quite hungry.
This to me sounds like a strong arm. I'm pretty sure this is a strong arm. I've been a part of a strong arm before.
Well, then you know how this works.
I do. What do you think, Brina? What should we do?
Well, everyone has a family at home. We should go on.
True.
I don't think they can actually stop a magical carriage.
I don't think they could either. You guys don't have carriages, do you? I see no carriages. I see no way for you to chase this down. Honestly, if I kick this horse in the right places, I could make this thing fly and you would never see us again. You're on foot.
Wait, your carriage can fly too?
I don't know, can it?
No,
You
it
know what?
can't.
You know what?
Dang it.
It can. It's a magical flying.
It can.
It can.
Go ahead and roll deception.
Fine. Leave it up to me to make the ruse. Okay. Let's see. Deception. Ooh, fancy. Please let that. Nope. God, that's horrible. Yay.
Yes.
Me.
Alright. Well, then make it fly.
Yeah, totally will. That's what I'm gonna do right now.
Can I use minor illusion to do that? Like, put something in front of us, so that way it'll like go up on it, and it'll be like in the air.
Well, it's an
I'll do
illusion.
the
It's an
minor
illusion. Yeah, it's an illusion. So it doesn't have any physical form.
I don't think I can illusion something so large. to
Yeah.
make it
Also,
look
minor
fine.
illusion only creates something within a 5-foot square.
No, it can do voices and stuff too.
Well, that too.
I have an idea. I think I have an idea. I can make this fly, but I'm gonna need your assistance. Okay, I'm gonna need the guard's assistance. Okay, it's gonna be very difficult for me to do this. I need all of you to gather around the cart to watch it lift up. Okay, but you gotta close your eyes because that's part of magic. That's how the magic works. You gotta close your eyes for like 5 seconds. And I can make it fly. Right now, all of you
Roll.
looking at me is giving me stage fright.
Roll a persuasion check.
Not horrible, but definitely not what I want to have. What is wrong with my day?
Alright, alright. Hey, close your eyes. I want to see this thing fly.
So as they all close their eyes, he looks to Brina. 1, 3. Ready? 1, 3. We kick the horse as hard as we can, and we just fucking fly.
Well,
Right.
when can we open our eyes?
5
We'll let you
seconds. That's
know.
all I'm asking. Ready?
Alright, 5, 4, 3,
2.
Don't we
2,
kick on 3?
1.
And he kicks at that one, and just the cart just jolts forward with this rush of just bouncing down the cobblestones, shaking as they go, probably running over one of the guards in the front as he's closed his eyes.
Yeah, so they finally open their eyes and they see you all taking off. And they're like, "Hey, wait, I thought you were going to make it fly."
I did. This is what I meant.
Oh. Wait. And they all start running off down the path toward you. But You know, obviously you have a carriage drawn by 2 horses, which is considerably faster than, any person on foot. You travel for a couple more days, and eventually you find yourselves in a dark portion of the woods here in the wild region of Zaldin. And you make camp for the night. And Cornelius is kind of wandering around the camp, like looking off into the darkness, trying to keep an eye out for danger. He's very nervous about being in the forest. Are you sure that we're safe here?
Cornelius.
Listen.
Oh, feel free.
Listen,
Primo.
Cornflakes, we are the guards here. You hired us, so I think you should leave it to us, and we'll be fine. We sleep out here all the time.
You sleep out here all the time?
Yeah, where do you sleep?
In a bed.
Oh, yeah.
I wish I could afford a bed. I can't.
Well, maybe you can after this job.
Oh,
That would
looks
be
to-
so amazing.
an actual bed. Live. Be great. Ooh, okay. Good?
Yes.
Yeah, we're
you're
back.
good.
Ooh. Man, those little spikes. So, look, don't worry. I have traveled a bunch through Zaldin and back before, alright? This is nothing new to me. You just have to be on guard. That's all I'm gonna ask.
Touche.
Sleep with one eye open. Maybe. You know.
All right. Maybe I can do that. He kind of scrounges up a pile of leaves next to the wheel of the cart. I guess I'll sleep here.
Oh, Corny, you can do better than leave a leaf basket. Here, come on, let me help you. I feel sympathy for you. I really do. I'm so sorry. Like, this is not my first rodeo, so he goes about like getting you set up like with like what he considers like a proper little hutch. However, if you need me to roll for that or not, I don't know. But if for the most part, he just
no.
goes
I mean,
about-
you're not in
Yeah.
it's not pressing. You can basically take a 20 and say that you take your time and prepare him a little safe haven, a little lean-to that he can sleep in.
I prepare him a proper little hutch.
Yeah. He says, "Wow, I guess you guys are pretty experienced with sleeping out here. It seems I picked the right people. Or I guess my friend picked the right people."
I mean, I guess we'll find out, won't we?
You know what?
I guess.
I think at that moment, maybe when he's walking toward his camp, right, when he's trying to get himself settled, I think Wit would then look to Brina. Speaking of which, I think maybe we should talk to him about his associate. I'd really like to know who this associate is. Last thing I want to do is get over there to Zaldin and be somebody that I remember who, needless to say, probably wants to punch my lights out.
Yeah, that might stop us from getting paid. We should probably figure that out. Maybe when he's tired.
everyone go ahead and... Actually, no, you're not going to need to roll perceptions for this because it's big and loud and crashing through the forest. As you guys are kind of discussing that, you hear an awful screeching roar, like roar, 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 coming through the forest and crashing through the brush into your campsite. You see a massive creature that is, well, it's got the body of a bear, but the face of an owl. And that's where we're going to cut away from you guys. As this
Will our heroes live on?
massive owl bear crashes into the campsite. And yeah, let's go ahead and refresh and see if we can get Nova's camera feed back.
Well, yay! I love both of your characters so much.
Let's see. I have it up so I can look when I see her. Maybe you should just go back to broadcasting everything. And just mute yourself. Because everything was working fine until that happened.
Nola, are you there?
Am I here?
Yeah,
You are here. You're
I
not,
am?
Your video is not showing.
Yeah, you're
however,
still the
but-
only one not showing, even after the reconnects.
Dang it.
You should probably switch to broadcasting everything again.
Oh, no.
Oh, what a bother.
Actually, check
Oh,
your
bother.
video input too, because maybe you switched your video input, because it keeps showing, like, it shows your character image, but then it switches to a black screen. So maybe you just changed your
Yeah.
video input.
My video
accident?
input is it has the correct camera.
Okay.
This is...
What is this? Okay, well, if it might make it simpler, maybe I should just broadcast everything, including my mic. Then I would have to mute myself.
I got you.
What?
I got you. I got your video. You're back. You'll show up in
here.
in stream in
Okay.
in a moment.
Yay! We're all here.
Okay, good. Hands off. I still can't see
All
her,
right.
but that's okay.
No, yes, nobody touch anything. We've got it.
Nobody move.
Nobody move. This thing's loaded.
Can you see me? No?
Yeah, I can. Well, no,
On stream, I can't. I still can't see Ty or Jesse.
Okay. But on stream you can.
On stream, yeah.
Okay, well I guess you'll get my visual cues at a 4-second delay. So that'll be-
Yeah.
all right. So we the camera cuts away from our intrepid heroes, heroes.
Yes, heroes.
Escorting Cornelius Hedge to Ren, and we cut over to the town of Ezrin in the west of Zaldan. Estelle, you have just narrowly escaped the people who are pursuing you, trying to bring you back to your home in Ramel, in order to fulfill your betrothal obligation to Marius Whitaker, the Duke of... Right, he's the Duke of the Northern Duchy.
Yes,
Yeah. Okay.
which includes the Northern March.
Correct. You find yourself in the town of Ezrin after traveling on your own for the majority of the time across the Gambit Road. So known because any traveler who takes the Gambit Road is taking a gambit with their life. as it is known to be traveled by many a shady figure. And you find yourself outside the doors to Le Renard Rouge.
Yeah.
A tavern that has a sign that's adorned with a stuffed fox that is kind of scampering across the top of the sign. From the outside, you can hear a raucous tune that is just pouring through the cracks in the door. But you know that this is the place that you're supposed to go. You know that this is where you're supposed to find the person that's going to take you the rest of the way that you need to go from away from Ramel and keep you protected, so that you don't have to go through with that terrible marriage. Marriage.
Mm-hmm. What a bother.
Right? So yeah, you find yourself outside the doors. What would you like to do?
Okay, so she has had a rough few days, and so she is very cautious right now. So she's actually gonna like see if there's any like windows or anything so that she can like take a peek inside.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of scoot around the exterior. You eventually find what looks like a kind of dirty, stained window that is to the south of the building.
Okay. Well, she's going to take out a little handkerchief and try to dust a little circle for her to look through, because she doesn't want to use her hands, because she tries to she doesn't want to make her gloves and hands all dirty, so she's going to use a handkerchief. So she dusts a little circle, and she takes a look into the tavern.
Okay, from your current vantage point on the south side of the building, you can see what appears to be for lack of a better term, a shithole. It's currently packed with all manner of ruffian pounding back drinks, and there is a small makeshift stage made out of like several wine crates that are upturned, and on this stage is a halfling gentleman who is playing a flute, and next to him is a half orc who has instead of the traditional green skin, he's sporting like an ashy gray skin, and no tusks, and he is playing a fiddle next to this halfling who's playing a flute, and the crowd is just going crazy. You can go ahead and make a perception check to see if you can find the person that you're looking for.
Okay. Okay, let's see. Perception.
All right.
Yeah, that's good. That's good enough. You kind of scan the crowd, and you eventually find kind of slumped over the side of the end of the bar, a gentleman matching the description of your former protector, Kalanai's friend, Isaac. He doesn't appear to be conscious.
Oh, good. Great. Perfect. So she is, she's gonna be like, okay, let's just get through the crowd and try to speak to him. Okay. And she's going to very, carefully open the door and kind of try and wade her way through the tavern to him.
Okay. Yeah, you begin pushing through the crowd, and instantly, like the presence of not only an attractive woman, but a clean woman one who doesn't appear to be covered in sweat and grime and anything else.
Wow.
Like the heads instantly turn, from some of the patrons at least. You definitely draw attention to yourself entering this building as you kind of wade through the crowd, and there's a point where you catch a few errant, like, you're not sure if they're intentional, but you catch a few like errant, like brushes of your backside as you're wading through the crowd. And eventually you're able to make your way to the end of the bar. And
probably the entire way she's gonna be like, "Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry." Like, and she's like constantly like, "Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Please stay away from me." Like that kind of thing.
And there before you with his head resting against the bar, and which arm are you missing? The left one?
I'm missing my left arm.
Okay. So yeah, he's got his head resting on his right arm, and just kind of dangling there is the sleeve where his left arm would be. You find Isaac Corhan.
Hello?
I mean, it's pretty loud in here, so even just saying hello, it's drowned out by the sound of the music.
Hello? Sir? And she kind of pokes him a little bit, like, "Are you alive?"
You eventually feel something prodding you in the side, Isaac.
Isaac turns toward this figure that is poking at him. Looks her up and down. Well, I don't want any. It's okay. And then he gets up and heads towards the door.
Wait. I don't know what you mean, but are you Isaac Corhan?
Kind of straightens up his coat a little bit. Yes, and who might be asking on this lovely, lovely night?
And she kind of like looks around to see, hopefully no one's listening, even though it's kind of loud. So she's like, okay, well, maybe, it'd be okay to tell him in this environment. And she kind of straightens up. My name is Estelle Dedan. My guard, Cal, and I sent me to find you.
I think you're muted.
Me?
No, Kai.
Oh.
Nope, I can't hear you.
Nope, can't hear him.
I think you unplugged yourself with your
Hello?
Yep. I think
Okay, there we go.
I think you unplugged yourself with your your physical acting.
Isaac turns wide-eyed. Now, there's a name. And I look around. Are my friends anywhere to be seen? Like the other members? Are they just gone?
They're all kind of scattered throughout the bar.
I'm sorry. He reaches towards his water skin, takes a big swig of water, and then just dumps it on his face. Right.
And she looks at him like,
Kalana. He's like trying his best to get his business face on, but like the room is clearly spinning. Go. Stop. She. And what do you want? What do you want? What do you?
Well, is there a place that I could speak with you, privately that isn't, filled with lots of people?
Well, not sure. Guys, I'm gonna early start, long road. Bye, and then he waves to the rest of the party that's still just
there. Yeah, the you guys, Estelle, you hear like half of the bar, kind of just goes, "Bye, Isaac."
She's like, how? Oh my gosh, everybody!
All right, walk with me.
And she like very quickly like leaves the tavern. Like all she's very noticeably uncomfortable here.
He does not. He waddles out, uses if there's something to support him, he uses that a little bit, like kind of like faces down, takes a few deep breaths, and then keeps going. Mm-hmm. Okay, I know. Like after we walk down a little ways, this good enough for you?
It's much better. Thank you. I really don't know how to say this, but and she takes out Kalanai's pendant that Kalanai always had with her, and she shows it to Isaac.
He looks at it. So she's dead then?
I don't know. She's been captured.
Well, and he tries to think back, just doing his best to think clearly. Okay. Well, I appreciate you telling me, miss, but I don't. Why are you here? And I swear I am usually a lot better at talking than this, but it has been a good night. And the laugh is like big and booming from the tummy for the sake of everyone's ears.
And she's just like, okay, this is the guy that Caroline told me to hang out with. And she's getting nervous. But, you know, she's just thinking that to herself. So she says, well, you see, Cal and I got captured because she was trying to get me into Zaldin. Because I had to leave. I really don't have a better way to say it than that, but she did her best to get me across the border, but she was stopped before she made it across. And now she has been captured by the Duke of the Northern March.
Mm-hmm. And what does this have to do with me?
Well, basically, Cal and I intended that she would protect me while we were both in Zaldin, but before she was captured, she said that I should find you. And that you would possibly be able to take her place until she returned.
Take her place?
as my guard.
I he uh, I just kind of holds his forehead for a bit. I
I can pay you.
That's what I was thinking. Right. Money. My God. Okay. First night's free. I can't negotiate right now, but I can say that for the night, come with me. We'll find a good tree. In the morning, we can talk, okay? And then he starts stumbling down the road where you came from, heading south.
A tree. Are there no establishments around here to rest?
Are you gonna pay for an establishment? If so, wonderful.
I could. Money is no object.
Okay then.
I'm glad.
We just kind of came out of the end of the town. Back we go, I suppose. And then
wait. Is that? Hold on. Is that the only place here?
I
There must be
mean,
somewhere else.
it's the only place around here that I would feel like someone wasn't trying to kill me while I was sleeping.
And this tavern is the best.
That unless you want to be okay. Take a step back. Unless you want to be murdered, then yes, the best. Yes.
Are you sure I won't be murdered in there?
Positive.
As you guys are discussing this, the door opens and two figures kind of stumble out. One of them, a dark-skinned figure with pointed ears, elven in appearance, but not the typical elven complexion, and a shock of white that it runs through jet black hair, with violet eyes, and a tall female figure who is kind of draped in black leather and has kind of platinum blonde hair that is tied up on the top of her head. And they kind of stumble out and look over at you, and the elven figure says, "Isaac, where do you think you're going?"
I was beckoned elsewhere momentarily. Now I'm going back. I look at Isaac like comfort, like I look at Estelle. Like
I look at Isaac. I look at myself.
I mean, tree is still an option.
Oh gosh. Okay. If that tavern really is the best place, I suppose it's better than the open
Okay
air.
then yes, we're on our way back. We were just getting some air, and now I'm going back. Where were you going?
I was going to find you. And
Well,
the two figures kind of stumble forward drunkenly, and says,
Do I know these two really well?
the elven figure says, "Who is your friend?"
Oh, this is. Why don't you introduce yourself?
um, my name is Estelle. Pleased to meet you.
Ah, Estelle. My name is Jemdeath Mizrani. I'm a good friend of Isaac's.
Oh, I see.
This here is my companion, Cora Dimlight. She's not very talkative. And the female figure just kind of nods.
Very, very good to meet you.
Well, are you heading out as well? Are you done?
No,
are we done?
things are just getting interesting. You have new friend.
I do have an. That's a wonderful point, Estelle. Do you wanna experience something neat?
Not really.
That just got a little creepy. Just a little.
Like, not really.
Okay. I realize. How are you with? And then he kind of looks down at his feet. On second thought, I'm gotta be honest. A job kind of just walks up to me, and I have a rule of not being like this when I'm working. So I don't think this can happen right now.
Jemdeath kind of steps forward and puts his hand over your mouth as you're talking. Forgive my friend. He has quite a bit of trouble holding his liquor.
I can see that.
Especially on nights like this. Tonight is supposed to be a night of celebration. And remembrance. We are remembering a fallen comrade.
Oh, I see. Cal and I said something about that, I believe.
Oh, you know Kalinai. Shh. It's okay. It's okay.
Yes. She is my guard.
Ah. She spoke of a young girl who she was protecting when she would come for her visits.
Yeah, likely me.
Well, don't worry. You are in good hands, despite what you are seeing now. He is much better when he is not drunk. Trust me.
Does this happen often?
I try to wiggle out of the hand. Just
okay, go ahead and so we'll do a contested grapple check. Go ahead and roll. go ahead and roll athletics or acrobatics.
Okay. Oh, good. First roll of the campaign.
All right. Make sure you take yourself off of whisper, by the way, because you whispered just to me. But luckily the viewers can see it, so that's fine.
Yes.
Yeah. So you begin to wiggle out of his grasp, and he's off kilter as well, and not very strong. So you managed to push yourself away, even with that very, very weak attempt at escaping. You managed to stumble away. So your mouth is no longer covered.
Wash your hands, man.
Kind of smells his hands. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, of course you don't. I just remembered a lot of things. Thank you. And yes, I am not like this, and no, this is not a regular thing. I promise that I treat all of my clients with the most profession that you can. I'm trying really hard here. I'm trying so hard.
I see that. Okay. Yeah, the most profession that I can. Okay, so Estella really doesn't know what to think. She's like, okay, did Cal and I make a mistake recommending this guy? Was
So
she?
do you say this out loud?
No, she's thinking this to herself, but it's on her face. She's like,
I happen to be a very perceptive person. And I can tell that you're thinking things right now. I can assure you. And he takes his one hand and like bows kind of low and then like stumbles a little bit. I have my client's best interest at heart, and Cal and I is a dear friend. And again, we can talk in the morning, but for right now, just I'm sorry for the state that I am in. Sincerely. It's not normal. It is not my norm. Understand?
Sure.
Great! And he starts wandering back in. You're buying! And then he stumbles through the door.
All right. I suppose I am buying. Great. And she very, quickly kind of walks into the bar and tries to avoid people as much as possible again. And she kind of tries waving to like the either the barkeep or whoever pays for the room.
Oh yeah, Isaac's up front talking the barkeep up. He knows him pretty well and is like pointing back to you and is like clearly like already getting the rooms underway.
Right, good. Yeah, well, and then if they ask for payment, she's just like, she takes care of it. It's no problem for her.
All right. How much for a room?
We're not gonna worry about the counting coins here. You guys.
You're probably a silver.
Yeah, you guys managed to secure lodging and get a good night's rest. And Isaac wakes up.
Before the night is done, I gather up my friends and I have a little huddle before I go up and retire. And I say, I know that things usually get a little more out of control than than they have tonight, and I'm sorry about that. But serious is my job, and I think we all learned something about Cal and I, and I guess you know what I'm trying to say, right? Right? I'm not.
Yeah, sure. We understand, no problem.
Okay. Next year. Yeah?
Next year.
Next year.
They all shout and raise glasses and take a final shot for the night.
All right. I'll write you all about Cal and I when I know more things.
Okay, go get some rest, buddy.
Thank you. And since if in case I don't see you again, thank you so fucking much for doing this. It's the best.
Sure, no problem. You should really sleep.
Yes, I should. And he walks up and collapses on the stairs.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. You
Now.
you wake in the morning with a killer headache, but yeah, you're no longer drunk, which is good. I imagine Kalanai eventually descends the stairs and finds you still hiding.
Kalanai doesn't descend.
Or
from
sorry,
anywhere.
not Kalanai, Estelle.
Estelle.
Estelle eventually descends the stairs and finds you like curled up in a ball, like shut with your body shoved to the side so people can get around you.
And she's just looking at this pitiful man, and she's like, "Oh, well, I hope he's better than he was yesterday."
I promise you that I am. Oh, no one had the decency to carry me to my room.
I don't think anyone knew.
How could no one... I'm not gonna raise my voice. Reaches down to his flask. Hydration. It's important.
You take
Anyway.
the final sip out of an almost empty water skin. That you remember that you poured most of it on yourself to try to sober up the night before.
Shit. Well, what's the barkeep's name?
The barkeep the innkeeper this morning. After last night's festivities, the normal innkeeper needed the day off. So the innkeeper. The innkeeper this morning is a lady halfling who has she's behind the bar, and you see her kind of rolling around on something. And Isaac, you're familiar with this because this is Rosalind Tetch. And she has basically like a stool on wheels that she kind of pushes herself around on to reach the higher up stuff.
That's
yeah.
pretty sick.
So she's taking care of the few stragglers of patrons that remain from the night before, including a currently unconscious Jemdath and Cora, who are Cora is like laying perpendicular across Jemdath on top of one of the tables, kind of like making an X with their bodies.
Adorable. Rosalind, could you do me a solid and fill this up? And I waltz down and hand her the water skin.
Oh, but of course, Mr. Corhan.
With water, please.
Whatever it is. And she proceeds to go over to a cask that's marked water and fills it up.
Thank you so much.
Did you have a good night's sleep?
Do I detect a little bit of sass in that?
Just a little.
Yes, I did. Thank you.
I would have helped, but as you can see, I am rather small. It would have been difficult.
Of course. You know, size is everything, as they say.
And I see you have made a new friend.
Yes. Rosalind, this is Estelle.
Yes.
This is Estelle. My new client? Yes.
Yes.
Interesting.
Quite. I don't really know the circumstances behind it yet myself, but I do know that what time is it around? Is like, is it?
It's
based on the sun?
mid morning, probably
Mid-morning.
about 9 o'clock.
Yeah. I'm already behind on getting back on the road. So, tell these two that that I said goodbye again, and best of wishes in all of their endeavors. And I guess I've better hit the road while I still got daylight.
Okay.
And she's gonna follow him out the door.
Thank you so much again. This is important what you're doing here. Never let anyone say that what you do here is not important. You do good things. And he closes the door.
She just kind of nods and looks over at Estelle with this look of, "Are you sure you want to travel with him?"
And she's like,
Yeah.
like, I don't know.
Yeah, and as they're exchanging the glances, I close the door. Well,
So yeah, you guys exit the Le Renard Rouge, and as you're exiting the inn, you are greeted by a group of men that are standing outside the inn.
hello, friends.
They are all dressed in chainmail and wearing the seal of the Whitaker family on their chests.
What can I do for you this fine morning?
Well, you can start by handing that little lady over.
How many of them are there?
About 6.
Shit.
And she's shocked. Like, she is like,
Huh.
she really was not expecting to see them this soon.
Now that's... Huh. Fast. It looks back at Estelle. That was really fast.
Yes, indeed.
We have our means. And he kind of points to several horses that are standing at the ready.
Horses.
Yes. No.
Wonderful.
Horses foiled again.
Yeah.
If you would
They
be
have
so
horses.
kind.
We're over. We're done for.
If you would be so kind as to hand her over to us, and we'll be on our way.
Kind of leans over to her. And these are the people that I'm guarding you from, correct?
Indeed.
Shit. Well, friends, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I can't do that.
Well then. It would seem we are at odds.
It would seem so. Takes another swig of water.
He kind of tosses back his cloak and reaches for the hilt of a sword that's on his hip.
Now, isn't there a way that we can all get what we want here? Like, what's this girl? I have money that she has money. She actually has money that she can probably help.
I don't think money's gonna work with them.
Well, do you know anything that will work?
She has something more. And what Marius Whitaker wants, what Marius Whitaker gets.
Do I know that name?
I mean, you probably would know it in passing. You don't spend a lot of time in Ramel, but the fact that that Zaldan shares a border with the Northern March, definitely familiar.
Whitaker. Where have I heard that name before?
He's the Duke of the Northern Duchy.
He is the Duke of the Northern Duchy. Okay. I think I understand my situation a little bit better here. And he just like
While this thing is happening, she's like slowly like inching away.
Yeah, and
like trying to like maybe get towards around the edge of the
He says-
building.
He says, I don't think you want to do that, and he motions to the bushes where you see two archers at the ready.
I hate
We'll
to say
we'll
this.
wound you if we have to, but we would prefer not to.
I hate to say this, Missy, but I am your guard, but I am also not suicidal.
I see.
And and then he just gets down close and like looks like like how tall is Estelle?
She's like 5'4".
Okay, so he goes down to her eye level because Isaac's like 6'2", 1, something like that. Goes
he's-
down to her eye level, and looks her dead in the eyes and says, "You have to wait for the opportune moment. If you don't do that, you're a dead man walking. Now I promise you, I will do my job. But for now, they have the upper hand. So please, don't
Perhaps-
get us killed."
Could we perhaps run back inside? Is there a back door?
He looks around at the archers. Can I make a perception check to try to really see what I'm working with here?
Sure, yeah, you can make a perception check.
Lower than my passive perception. That's how it's gonna
Wow,
be.
that's
though.
lower than your passive perception.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm a perceptive dude.
What in the
He's a
world?
he's a variant human with observant, I imagine.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I was like, how is it? How do you have a
So he's got a passive of 20.
Jeez.
You take a cursory glance around and you see there's about 4 archers that are also hidden in the brush. So a total of 10 men. All better armored than you and better armed than you, for the most part. I mean,
All right.
you might be able to get a couple of shots off, but
Yeah. I look down at Estelle. Even if we did, they have horses. Opportune moment. All right. I suppose you have the upper hand. But I do have a caveat because, fighting can be, even if you have the upper hand and you're clearly going to win, fighting is just a drivel and no one wants to get hurt. So I could either go down blazing and then die and, you would have some injured people, or counter offer to that, you just take me with her.
that can be arranged.
Excellent. And then I look back.
Kind of-
Opportune. Okay.
Reinserts the sword into the sheath and steps forward a couple of steps, and then you hear the faint sound of arrows being fired as the four archers are struck in the chest and head and throat areas, and all of them fall down. And you kind of glance up and you see a familiar gnomish figure with a short bow, covered in leaves, from head to toe, firing from a tree, and he says, "Isaac, get out of here now!"
Okay.
And as he shouts that, Jemdath steps through the door and thrusts his hand forward, and a shroud of shadows emerges from the center of the men, effectively creating an area of darkness around them that they cannot see through.
Okay. Where were the horses in relation to us? Accessible?
You'd have to run into the darkness to get to them.
Okay. I'm going to.
Can't run around?
Okay. First of all, do we need to roll initiative?
No. They're
Okay.
they're effectively taken out of the fight. This is your chance to escape. What do you want to do?
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna go for a horse.
She's really startled right now, so she is gonna follow him.
Okay. So you guys rush forward into the darkness for the horses. Go ahead and roll perception checks to see if you can find a horse. Okay, yeah. Isaac, easy enough. You find a horse and you just grab Estelle's hand and like one-handed pull her up onto the horse as you're hopping on. As you guys rush out of the darkness, the Duke's men kind of follow you, follow you out of the darkness. And as they're emerging from the darkness, you guys see Cora emerge from the tavern, and you watch as dark spectral wings shoot out of her body as she flies forward and just punches one of the men in the face and knocks him back about 10 feet. Giving you guys an opportune moment to escape.
All right. As we ride off, I fire shots at the back of the people and just like unload my gun as much as I can and try to help as we're going away.
Okay, go ahead and just roll a couple of attacks and see. They're going to be at disadvantage because you're riding a horse, and you're actually. How are you? Are you just holding on with pure leg strength?
No saddle, no.
That's a good point.
Well, I imagine
That's why I was this is the start of, I hope, many situations like this. Precisely what I am doing. Yes.
Okay, so if you're trying to fire back at them, I'm gonna first need a strength check to see if you can maintain hold of the horse's body with your legs. You can use athletics if you are proficient in it, and it'll help.
I'm not. All right, strength check. Not terrible.
Okay, and 11. You reach back and you watch Estelle as he pulls a kind of older-looking 6-chamber revolver from his belt and kind of reaches back behind you to fire, and he almost falls off of the horse, but manages to catch himself. You're able to get one shot off before you like fall and nearly fire at Estelle instead of firing at the men. So go ahead and roll an attack at disadvantage to see if you hit one of them.
That's a 9.
Yeah, you're nowhere near. You actually hit the tree where your little gnome archer friend was hiding, and he jumps and he says, "You might want to control your aim a little better, buddy."
Thank you so much. I will not forget this. I will not forget this. I will not. He just keeps on repeating that as they go out of.
Next round's on you. You. All right. So you guys ride off into the forest and find yourselves traveling along a game trail for a little while.
I navigate my way down south.
Sure. So you make your way south, and remind me why you're heading south again.
I'm heading south because I got wind. I took a job that just happened to be in close proximity to the gathering, so it was to head south to the town of Matt Madness. What is this town's called? Of
Matt Madness, yeah.
Of Girafina.
Oh, okay.
Girafina,
yes.
Girafina. Oh my gosh.
It changes every time.
Yeah, it's a different city every single time you visit.
So you head south to Girafina.
Yeah, I'm heading toward that direction. And Estelle, this way should start looking mighty.
Yeah, she knows these roads very well, and what during the journey, she's like, "Why are we going down this road?
'Cause I
Shouldn't we
haven't-
be going in the opposite direction?"
Should we? I have a job down here. This is where I was going.
This I'm trying to get away from here. You know, we're going into the Northern March.
Away. About payment. You said you could pay me, correct?
Yes.
And the horse is going on at a gallop, and he's just like looking on ahead. What do you think? What do you expect my rate is?
Perhaps a gold a day?
A gold a day. And how much did that room cost that she just got? Like,
It was like a silver for the night.
Okay. A gold a day. And how long do you expect this to last?
To be honest, I'm not sure. It could be a few weeks or much longer. Until I get this all sorted out and I can return to Ramal.
Okay. So here's my proposition. And this is a damn good proposition because Cal and I spoke very highly of you, and I recall that. So, a gold a day. When it is uneventful. If I need to protect you, use resources, holds up a little satchel, it's like while holding on the reins, so kind of like shimmying over to the, trying to still hold onto the reins while reaching towards something on his belt, shaking bullets, medicine, if I need to pay for lodging for you or anything else, any expense to take care of you, I'm going to say you cover at least half of it. So any additional expenses, at least half, plus the gold a day. Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah, that sounds fine.
Okay. And this contract, which I will draw something up official just because, records are important to me.
Of course.
What's the word? Wait, it seems to... Oh, sorry. That pop-up, random ad.
Gotta get them ads.
Gotta get them ads. Sweet, sweet ad money.
See if they want to sponsor us.
I travel a lot, and the horse is nice, but I am still going to be working because this is for the foreseeable future, and as you have not given me a set amount of time, I cannot stop my occupation because you have arrived. This is all very sudden, and I have made plans. So I will say, after this job, I will give you a month without me taking up additional contracts. After this current one, of course. After that, you will accompany me if you want my guardianship, and if you assist me, I'll take away the expenditure. Still expect the gold a day, but if you assist me in my occupation, I see no reason to charge you for resources as you are assisting me. Does that also sound reasonable?
Of course. Actually, I think I could be quite useful. I do have some training.
Great. That is excellent. Yes, I know this is weird. Don't worry about it. Yes. You were gonna say something, DM? You took a breath.
I was going to say that just for everyone who's watching, all two of you.
Yeah, right. All two people, which may or may not be the two
Us.
of us.
Yeah. Well, there's 4 viewers. I'm splitting the difference.
Alright.
So for anyone who's watching the VOD later, what Isaac hears before he says, "Yes, I know this is weird," is, "Are you really sure that we should bring her along?"
And he responds with that, and then looks back to Estelle. Now, we're heading south. We're heading toward Garifina. And after we're finished there, we can, I guess, go further north. You don't really have a destination, do you?
Not really. I was just hoping to be away from Ramel. I mean, Garifina is exactly where I escaped from. The place would be crawling with guards. I mean, the 6 there, you would wish that there were only 6. The entire city would be manned.
Okay. Fine. 20 gold, and I'll abandon this, and that'll be a down payment. Okay? 20 gold?
No problem.
All right, then.
20 gold, absolutely no problem.
Where to, then, princess?
Away from the border.
You have a month. So I suppose.
I mean, I imagine, I don't know, maybe the capital?
The capital? So you're a tourist as well. Excellent. I haven't been there in a while. All right, then. Turem, I suppose.
I just imagine it would have the most resources. And maybe I could speak with the nobility there. Maybe they could help me.
So you do have a plan. You know, we have a lot to catch up on and a lot of road to travel. And then he turns around and then he goes off of the road to clearly go a wide way around the town. Getting to a station shouldn't be that hard. And should be around 4 days travel from here, give or take, depending on what the horse does. All right.
Right.
So you guys,
And scene.
yeah, you guys take off to the north and east, trying to avoid potentially running into more of the members of Marius Whitaker's guard. You travel for a couple of days, 3 or 4, and eventually nightfall comes, but you're still a little spooked, and you guys are think you're gonna try to press on through the night to try to get a little bit further. And as you're riding, you hear a shout from the forests. "What the hell is that thing?"
Ooh, business opportunity.
And a loud roar.
And I know these forests pretty well. Do I know what that is?
You can make a nature check with advantage to see if you can recognize it.
All right. Nature 17.
Sounds like an owlbear.
Excellent. Well, I normally don't go toward the sound of roaring animals, but the sound of a person in trouble, that sounds like coin to me. So, detour! And then I turn the horse and I start galloping full speed toward the sound.
All right,
and
yeah.
she's like, okay. She's never fought an owl bear before.
Yeah, you guys gallop. It doesn't take long at a full gallop to get to where you're going, and eventually you find a small campsite with a carriage and two horses that are kind of bucking and attempting to break loose of their restraints. And you see a small gnomish woman who has kind of a small for a human gentleman that is kind of cowering behind her, and a it's kind of hard to make out in the shadows, but a man of some humanoid nature. And you see looming in the outskirts of this fire pit a massive owlbear. But Kai, or sorry, not Kai, Isaac, you're looking at this owlbear and it doesn't look like a normal owlbear. You see black tendrils that kind of snake off of the sides of it, that are kind of whipping and snapping in various directions, and you see that when it opens its jaw actually unhinges and gets even larger than it should normally be.
Oh God!
And as you're seeing this, you're thinking it, and your unseen companion also is thinking this, and you hear in your head, "The blight."
Yeah, I guess it's personal. And then am I close to, like, how far away am I from the owlbear at this point?
You're about 40, 50 feet from it.
All right, I turn to Estelle. Now's the time to prove yourself. I hop off. I expect 5 gold pieces after I'm done. And I mark him as my prey, and I point to my revolver, and I guess, hey.
Yeah,
Estelle's just thinking, like, what the heck happened to that thing? And while she does that, she prepares her mace and her shield.
Okay. We'll cut back to Brina and Wit at this point. You guys are accosted by this giant, strange owlbear, and you watch as 2 figures ride up on a horse. One of them draws a revolver from his hip and points it at the owlbear, and the other, a female, hops off of the horse, draws a mace from her hip, and raises a shield that's emblazoned with a symbol of 2 hands cupping a flame. And what would you guys like to do? We'll start with Brina.
I would. Oh no, too much! And then I cast Minor Illusion, and I'm inside a little tiny crate, like a little wood crate.
Okay, so you guys who just arrived watch as this gnome woman freaks out, throws her hands up, and turns into a box.
All right, I thought I say 7 gold, and I guess
what would you like to do?
Wit is gonna. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah,
cool. Yeah, Wit's gonna look at Brina for a minute. He sees this owlbear abomination just coming at him, and then he goes to draw his rapier, and as he's looking to the side, boop, she turns into a box, and he's like, "Oh yes, That's wonderful. That's exactly what we need at this moment. Thank you.
I know, what a hero.
I can cast things from my box, okay?
Well, if you wouldn't mind, I'd really appreciate it if you just start doing that, would you? And he'll pull a blade and look to Cornelius. Corny, I'm gonna need you to get behind a bush, a tree. Can you climb? Are you good at that? Because
I would say no, I'm not very good at climbing. That's for sure.
Absolutely wonderful. That's fantastic. Oh, God, I have to do everything around here. All right,
Friend, time.
And then I imagine he'll probably be the one to. He'll probably duck and roll into some sort of a cover, but he'll have his blade ready for if this thing starts lunging toward him. Or
Okay.
Brina. Yeah.
As everyone takes battle positions, Brina in her box, Wit from cover, Isaac with his revolver drawn, and a bead on the tainted owlbear, and Estelle kind of shakenly preparing to jump into combat, which is not something that you have ever done.
Yeah, like her first one. Like every single time she's ever fought, it's been in training.
That's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Whee!
Woo!
Way to go.
All right, it happened. It's happening.
So next session, you guys get to fight a tainted owlbear.
All right, what a way to start. Raid boss.
Yeah, right?
I figure I gotta throw something good at you guys. You guys are level 3.
All right.
Waiting
Yeah,
to
right?
roll initiative.
Yeah. For the record, I said I marked him as his prey immediately when I saw him, so Slayer's prey is already on that SOB.
Sure. Yes. Yeah, you got it.
All right.
But yeah, that's gonna be it for us tonight.
Nice.
I'd like to thank everyone for watching, including those who are gonna view this later. I know that there's a couple of people who said that they couldn't make it to the live stream, but they're gonna view the VOD. So I'd like to thank everyone for watching. Let's look at the camera, because that's what professionals do.
All the technicalities.
Yes, enjoy our blooper video, episode 0.0.
Right.
Our blooper video.
Episode 0, -1.
And look forward to seeing you all next session.
Thank y'all.